Thank you very much. Well, it's great to be back in Jacksonville. This is North or South Jacksonville. Everybody I've met tonight, they're St. Augustine, and I said, what part of Jacksonville is that?
Real south.
Then they started talking about West Jacksonville, North Jacksonville, South Jacksonville. So great to have all of you here. And since Marshall gave my speech about all the good work that you're doing around the world, Cindy told you all the facts. I hope you've enjoyed the evening. You know, it is great to be here with people that are so dedicated and so involved with making lives of individuals, as Marshall said, that you'll never see, you'll never know anything about, but you know that they're having a better life because of your generosity to our Rotary Foundation. Several years ago, there was a philosopher that made a very profound statement. That statement was, very simply, a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with one single step. And I just want you to think about that, of what a visionary 112 years ago by the name of Paul Harris started when he started this organization. I doubt very seriously he had any idea that this organization could be doing the things it's doing today. He wanted to have some fun. He wanted fellowship. He wanted to associate with business friends. So, therefore, our journey began. But our journey really, as a foundation, didn't begin until the 6th president of Rotary International, a man by the name of Arch Clump, in Atlanta, Georgia. And how many of y'all are going to be in Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Okay, will the rest of you see me after the meeting? Marshall and I need to talk to you. The 6th president of Rotary International, Arch Clump, in Atlanta, Georgia, said, we need to create an endowment for doing good in the world. And from a modest contribution, $26.50, where are we today? An endowment of over $1 billion, $360 million in cash, $640 million in expectancies. And if you're one of those that have left us money for the future, we hope you stay here a lot longer. Continue to do the good work. Let your wealth increase and give us some more. Because you see, it's that kind of generosity that you've given that Cindy talked about that has made these lives better. So think about that visionary. A person that just had an idea. And where is that idea taking us today? Judy and I have been to several countries, as you can imagine. We've been to several states in the United States of America and several places in Canada and other places. And we've seen the good work that has happened. You know, you have a project of providing wash in schools, water and sanitation program in Chandigarh, India. Something that this district has been very involved in that I had no idea you were doing until I was in India. And I saw this project that was a joint project with this district. Cindy's talked about NIDs, and she's led several NIDs. How many of you have had that opportunity to participate in an NID? You know the value. You know what happens when you get to place those 2 little drops in that child's mouth and you don't speak the language of that mother. She probably don't speak your language, but she looks up at you and she smiles. that universal language that says thank you. Thank you, Rotary, for what you have done, and thank you for what you're doing, because of you, my daughter or my son will not be crippled or will not die from that deadly polio virus. But what else did we see in Shindagar? We went into a hospital ward that we wouldn't consider a hospital ward, with bare concrete floors, not a whole lot of sterilization, but laying in the bed was a small infant. That baby couldn't have been over 3-4 months old. Had probably 10 or 15 tubes, I don't know how many, we didn't count them, coming out of their body. Had been brought to Shindagar for the hospital there that was basically funded by and operated by Rotarians from another country to have open heart surgery. That baby has an opportunity for life because of you. But in that bed next to her was a 13-year-old girl. This girl was from Nigeria. She was there because she was having difficulty in school, and she was in school studying English. She couldn't play soccer. She couldn't get through her coursework because she kept running out of breath. She was there to have open heart surgery in a hospital that was funded and operated by Rotarians. That girl recovered, and her parting words were, "Thank you for giving me an opportunity to go back to my country, Nigeria, to study English and to play soccer." Now, you don't have any idea who that girl is. We didn't either till we saw her. But we made a difference in her life. Yes, we had the WASH program in India. That is a very strong program in India. It's where they go out and they build toilet blocks, and what they consider toilet blocks are small concrete structures with a hole in the floor, and that's a toilet. But that little simple structure with that hole in the floor allows a girl to go to school to get an education. The program that you're doing has helped those girls get an education. If you educate a boy, you educate a person. If you educate a girl, you educate a family. And you have certainly educated a lot of families. Marshall and I had the opportunity to meet several years ago. Like he said, he had on those plaid pants. I thought he was a golfer coming in from a golf course. Had no idea this guy was the governor nominee. But Marshall, it wouldn't have gone with that jacket, as you know. But we had another opportunity to meet, and we were at Grove Park, and we talked about how that you could build a stronger team, because I believe that team stands for together, everyone achieves more. Because we can't do it by ourselves. We have to have everybody in this room participating, or we wouldn't be doing the great work we're doing. So I suggested maybe you should do something like I did when I was the district governor, and I was director. I asked our governors, if you put up $1,000 of DDF, I'll put up $1,000, and that gives us $25,000 because we had 24 districts, and I'll get us $25,000 from the Rotary Foundation. And they said, well, how are you going to do that? I said, well, the chairman of the Rotary Foundation is Jim Leasy, and he's from Cookeville, Tennessee, and he's in my district, so I think I can get $25,000. So we did a water project in Thailand, and we did work with Heifer International and did some projects in Cambodia and everything, and Vietnam. So we suggested that, and Marshall and them came up with a plan. Each of the districts put in some DDF money. They got matched. The project was identified by the governor down in Jamaica. And we actually went over there with 27 of the 29 district governors from Zone 33 and 34 to do a project. The first eye surgery equipment in Jamaica was done because of contributions that you did. We didn't stop with just buying a piece of equipment, having people come in to hook it up and walk away. We went to a place that I'm not sure how we got there or how we got back, because it was rough roads and it was not fun. And we went up and it was a girls' school, and it had barbed wire around the top of it. It was ringed with wire. And I said, I thought you said these girls were free to move around. They said, they are. This is to keep the other people out, not to keep them in. These were neglected girls, friendly as they could be, well-mannered, and we were there building a peace park, planting trees, painting benches. See, that's part of Rotary too. It's not just the contribution, it's the work that is being done because of your contribution. Or if you were in Guatemala, where they've never had an x-ray machine before. So you go to a health clinic and people, they block off the street, put you on a platform. And this is the most dangerous city, according to the mayor in Guatemala. But they're so appreciative of Rotary, they shut the whole town down because they got an x-ray machine. Just stop and think about that. And we can talk for hours and hours about all the great work that you've done, the great contributions you've done. But you also have talked about education. Think about the scholarships that you've provided. Think about the global scholarships. Think about before we changed the ambassadorial scholars. We talk about the youth being the future of our country. You're helping that youth become better educated by providing those global scholars, those peace scholarships. Had an opportunity last night to listen to a young lady that had won one of those scholarships. And she was talking about how important it was and how it has changed her life because Rotary gave her an opportunity to be educated that she wouldn't have had otherwise. So I'm here to say thank you. Thank you for the generous contributions you've done. Thank you for what you're doing for the Rotary Foundation. And I want to thank you for what you're doing for our number one project, that is the eradication of polio. Yes, we've gone from over 1,000 cases a day in 125 countries and geographic regions to where we only have 5 cases today in 3 countries. Congratulations. Now all that started because of a person with a vision. His name was Sir Clem Renoff. He was president of Rotary International in 78-79 when smallpox was eradicated from the earth. He called a district governor of his and asked John Sever, was there something of this magnitude that Rotary could do around the world? And up until then, Rotary had never stepped out of its boundaries, had never done anything outside the communities because we were a community-based organization. The answer came back that yes, we could do it. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort. So with $760,000 of health, hunger, and humanity funds from the Rotary Foundation, Rotary made a commitment to provide vaccine and to vaccinate 6 million children in the Philippines. That program was a huge success. So much of a success that Rotary International then said, why don't we do it around the world? Well, they made a commitment. Said it's going to take $120 million to do this. They raised $247 million. Now, how many of you were in Rotary in 1985? Stand up. Just one of us? Two of us? Three of us? Four of us? Everybody's in Rotary in 1985. Don, I didn't say sit back down. I want you to recognize these individuals because they're the ones that made the commitment. Now you sit down, Doc. They're the ones that said, yes, we can eradicate polio. Yes, we can raise the 120 million and raise 247. Their math wasn't too good. And yes, we can accomplish and we can save all the children from being crippled or dying from polio. And we're darn near there. Now, granted, it has now taken us worldwide about $12 billion. Rotary has spent $1.6 billion, but we're going to get there because Rotary has persistence, and when a Rotarian gives their word, we live up to what we say we're going to do. Amen. We spend $1 billion US per year to eradicate polio. And people say, why do you do that? You only got 5 cases. Really, is that a problem? Well, ask those in Los Angeles when the measles outbreak came just 2 years ago. We hadn't had measles in the United States in years, but yet it happened. And it can happen again if we don't finish the job we started. So I implore you to continue to help us with that because we need to fulfill that vision along our journey as well as others. We will make that happen. We have a great partner in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They are matching 2-for-1 what we do up to $35 million. So Marshall, when they say, Marshall them says that they've given a total this year of right at $450 million, is that right? 150, 190, 94, $350,000 this year. Multiply that by 3, so you've made a contribution. How much? $1,050,000 to help eradicate polio. So thank you very much for that generous contribution too. Well, we all have visions, don't we? We all have dreams. One time a person asked Helen Keller, said, Miss Keller, is there anything worse than being blind? Miss Keller said, yes, there is. To be able to see, but to have no vision. Paul Harris had a vision. Arch Klump had a vision. Sir Clem Renoff had a vision. Every one of you that have participated in a project has had a vision of what could happen if you could complete that by building a toilet block, a wash station, an NID, scholarships, any of those other great projects you've done in Nicaragua and other places, all because of a vision. So I ask you tonight, what is your vision? What do you want your club to be? What do you want your community to be? And what would you like for this world to be? It's up to you. Former chaplain of the United States Senate once said, I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. That what I can do, I ought to do. And that what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will do. I believe that whatever you can conceive in your mind, you can achieve with willpower, power, and using the team effort, because together, everyone achieves more. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to present you the check. you. Thank you very much.
President John, at this time I have Past Sister Governor Art and Past Sister Governor Cindy who have done an incredible job this year coordinating this event, making this a reality. At this time I would like to present this check to you on behalf of the Rotary 6970 All-Stars to the Rotary Foundation in the amount of $1,122,900.